Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new video, and today's video is this is funny. So we're going to be talking about this guy who was actually restrained on a plane because he was just acting like a he's just acting like a complete fool basically. Yesterday there was actually a story posted by the New York Times about this guy who was actually he was apparently drunk on the plane and was acting just like a fool, and he first off he was just, he was yelling at people. He actually hit a flight attendant, and because of this, the crew had to duct tape this guy to his seat. Now we do have a video. The video is about a minute long, so let's go ahead and just quickly look at it, and then we'll talk about it.
Let's go.
You guys fucking suck. My parents are worth fucking 2 million goddamn dollars. And you know what? You fucking suck. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? My grandpa is worth more than your fucking life. Fucking attorney. Shut the fuck up. You see?
Hey!
Yo.
Chill out.
Yo, you're savage, yo.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Shut up.
Alright, so you can clearly see in the video what's happening. This guy is just yelling at somebody, saying that they suck, and then he's just kind of trying to, say, oh, my parents are worth more than you. They're worth $2 million, like that. That's fucking relevant to the point. It's clear when you have somebody that's 22 years old and trying to use, like, their parents' wealth and net worth to defend themselves. It's clear that this person just fucking has been, like, everything has been handed to him on a silver platter. He's probably a super entitled kid, super spoiled, probably got everything he wanted. Mommy and daddy paid for every single thing he had. Honestly, probably never got a fucking job until he's actually an adult or something like that. And again, it's just clear that this guy just probably has not really made like a significant accomplishment himself. That's why he's using his parents' net worth, I guess, to kind of defend himself or something. I also want to clarify, I believe this guy was actually drunk, and there's also something I didn't mention. He also apparently tried to grope two flight attendants' breasts. I assume this is how the whole argument started, and this is why he's probably screaming that these people suck. And then after that, we see like a flight attendant or two try to come and calm him down, and we could see here he clearly throws a punch. I think I assume he made contact because the tweet said before punching the flight attendant. So I assume he actually did hit the flight attendant. You could see that the guy actually was restraining him. And then this forced them to have to duct tape the person to their seat. And I don't know, man. This is just so stupid, Now, apparently the crew that was, on this plane and trying to handle this person was actually suspended. The reason behind this was because apparently they didn't follow, like, proper policies that, you're supposed to do when you're restraining a passenger. And then that caused them to get, suspended. And I guess they're going to have to, I don't even know what's going to happen to them. But in all honesty, that's a little fucking ridiculous. I mean, you clearly see here that this person is being nothing more than just a nuisance and just a problem for this flight. This guy apparently, he groped two flight attendants. He's screaming at people. He's swearing. He literally assaulted one of them to the point where they had to do nothing. Like, they had to restrain him. And unfortunately, the flight attendants are now suspended because of this. And I guess, I don't know, this is just a little ridiculous. Honestly, from the video I think the flight attendants were handling everything, pretty well. They weren't screaming. They were just trying to, get this guy to calm down, stop being, this just big fucking nuisance and problem. And they did end up solving the problem. Unfortunately, it escalated a little too far where hands had to be thrown for some reason, but this guy got, duct taped to his seat, and I guess that ended that. But again, I think the flight attendants did handle this, I guess, well. Obviously, when you look at somebody duct taping a person to their seat, it kind of looks like, this shouldn't be happening, and they probably should do something else. But when you see what's happening here, right, you read the details, this guy was, touching people inappropriately. He literally attacked one of the flight attendants that this guy needed to be restrained. And this is probably all they had to restrain the person with, so they just kind of worked with what they had. This guy who, was, the whole culprit of the problem here actually was arrested and is actually being charged with 3 misdemeanor counts of assault. Now, I don't know why he decided to throw a punch. I don't know why you would think that would be a good idea, especially when he's probably in the wrong, and it looks like he is in the wrong. Again, we don't really have the full video of, how this all started, but what I assume happened was that he groped one of the flight attendants. Somebody probably said something, and he probably, fought back a little bit, telling them that they sucked and trying to, I guess, justify himself by saying his parents are wealthy. Not like that fucking means anything anyway. And again, this guy was drunk, I believe. According to this New York Times article, it said that the problem began on his 3rd alcoholic beverage. So I assume that at this point he was probably drunk, which is probably the reason that he was acting like a complete asshole and fool. Also, apparently this guy was, he actually emerged out of the bathroom shirtless, apparently. I think after apparently he spilled his drink, and I guess afterwards he decided to take off his shirt for some reason, because, I don't know, maybe he didn't want a wet shirt. Apparently he was also just kind of walking around the cabin for, like, 15 minutes. I don't know what he was doing. I don't, maybe he was just kind of out of it. And then apparently while he was walking around, he decided to say, fuck it, I'm going to just grab this lady's breast, and that's what he did. And then that's when the whole video started, when he was telling the guy to shut up. He was, that's the male flight attendant, that was the male flight attendant, by the way. The guy who, he apparently hit him, and then he restrained him. That was the guy who, was taping him to his seat. So not only was this guy acting like a complete, utter asshole, complete, douchebag the entire flight, he not only, was, again, probably bothering passengers, but he also verbally, physically, and sexually assaulted people. And it's just kind of like, it's just crazy to me that, we have the flight attendants and the crew being suspended for this. And again, the reasoning being for, oh, they didn't follow protocol. And it's like, bro, when you're in a fucking situation like this, right? Like, when you're in a real life situation, you're probably never gonna follow protocol in your life. Think about, like, when you were in school, right? And, like, they were like, oh, there's a fire drill, so we have to practice how to do the fire. So you guys gotta get up in the line, walk calmly outside. It's like, bro, you think kids are gonna fucking do that if a fire starts at the school? They're all gonna panic and shit and run out the door screaming. And back to the problem here, like, you think someone's gonna follow protocol and you have somebody who's literally sexually assaulting and physically assaulting people? Like, you're like, their first thoughts were probably like, oh, let's make sure I follow protocol, do step by step. And like, bro, their first thoughts are just get this guy restrained as fast as possible. I think I'm gonna end this video here. We gotta wrap this up. This is just so stupid. This guy just acted like a fool for literally no reason, just because he had one too many drinks, I guess. And unfortunately, the crew that handled the problem was, unfortunately suspended for apparently not following protocol. And again, in all honesty, I think they did everything well. I don't, they, like, you see the video and they weren't like, they weren't yelling at the guy. They weren't like being rude or disrespectful. They were very calm until things escalated and they had to restrain this person. And it's just ridiculous that they were suspended because of this. But with that being said, I'm going to end this here. Thank you guys for watching and all that stuff. Make sure you guys hit that sub button if you're new. It helps out a lot. And make sure you guys comment. Do you guys think that they should have been suspended? I don't. You guys can also go ahead and leave a like. That helps a lot too. And go ahead and check the links in the description for not only the Twitter, but also the Twitch, where I stream pretty frequently. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video.